sound videos, like my Egypt one was done with Audacity, and then I went to record a video a few weeks ago, and I uploaded it to YouTube, and then I listened back to it, and the quality was dire. So I'm gonna start recording with my iPod again. I don't think it's bad quality, so I don't see why I should stop. Okay, 1. People with a higher number of moles tend to live longer than people with a lesser number of moles, which is very good because I have quite a few moles. A lot of moles, actually. Okay, on my forearm alone I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's just on my right forearm, from the elbow to the palm. Thinking about your muscles can make you stronger. Cool. When filming summer scenes in winter, actors suck on ice cubes just before the camera rolls. It cools their mouths so their breath doesn't condense in the cold air. That's interesting. I read that The Wicker Man, when they were filming The Wicker Man, the old one, the summer, obviously, I think the bit right at the end was a summer scene, a scene set in summer, but it was filmed in winter, and I read somewhere that they sucked on ice cubes, and I thought, that's weird, how would that work, but that makes sense. Grapefruit scent will make middle-aged women appear 6 years younger to men. The perception is not reciprocal, and the grapefruit scent on men has no effect on women's perception. There you go, women. Top tip for the day. Grapefruit scent. Oh my god. The world's youngest parents were 8 and 10 and lived in China in 1910. Oh my god. I read about a girl in Brazil, I think. She was 5 years old and she had a kid. That's if it's true. I didn't think it was biologically possible to have a kid that young. The colder the room you sleep in, the better chances that you'll have a bad dream. That to me sounds like a little codswallop. I love sleeping in a cold room. I mean, it's getting towards more wintry now. I wore my coat today to work. I haven't done that since March probably, but that's a lot of codswallop too. I've only had a job since July. Okay, but I have my fan in my room, and even when I'm not warm, I still put it on because I think I sleep better when it's cold, I think. And it's true, when I didn't turn my fan on, I used to wake up in the middle of the night, but with my fan on, I sleep better. And I don't have bad dreams, or at least if I do have bad dreams, I can't remember them. There are more people today alive than have ever died. Wow. Than have ever died. I find that hard to believe. Although there's 7 billion people alive in the world today, and just 100 years ago, I think, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to Google it. Okay, quick Google. In 2012, the population is 7 billion. 100 years ago, in 1912, it was just over 1.5 billion. That is a lot of people, in considering how long humans have been around a very short amount of time. Women's hair is about half the diameter of men's. Women blink twice as many times as men do. The average person who stops smoking requires 1 hour 5-year-olds laugh on an average of 300 times a day. Adults only laugh 15 to 100 times a day. That's because when you're 6 years old, everything is more funnier. Intelligent people have more zinc and copper in their hair. Copper, my hair is like, it's like a light brown, but it's got like a reddish, like when I stand in sunlight it looks like more reddy, so maybe that's got more copper in. I hope so. The human heart creates enough pressure while pumping to squirt blood 30 feet. The brain up 30 feet. That is a long way away. That's like 6, 12, 52. That's like 5 tall people laying down head to feet. The brain operates on the same amount of power as a 10-watt light bulb. The cartoon image of a light bulb over your head when a great thought occurs is not too far off the mark. Your brain generates as much energy as a small light bulb, even when you're sleeping. The brain is more active at night than during the day. The brain itself cannot feel pain. While the brain might be the pain center when you cut your finger or burn yourself, the brain itself does not have pain receptors and cannot feel pain. And, oh my god, that reminds me of a scene I watched a few weeks ago. I watched Hannibal with a friend, and I absolutely love Hannibal Lecter. Oh gosh, there's a scene near the end, and if you haven't seen it or want to see it, there's a teeny little spoiler bit at the end. He gets a guy, and he's obviously drugged him, and he's cut off the top of his skull while he's still alive and he's talking. He's obviously been drugged, but he's alive and he's talking. And Hannibal cuts out a chunk of his brain while the guy's still talking and alive, and he cooks it. He like fries it, and then he feeds it to the guy, so the guy's eating his own brain, and obviously he couldn't feel a thing. And I don't know how you feel now, but I'm not very squeamish at all. But that was not pleasant to watch. That was disgusting, actually. The fastest growing nail is on the middle finger, and the nail on the middle finger of your dominant hand will grow fastest of all. Why is not entirely known, but nail growth is related to the length of the finger, with the longest fingers growing nails the fastest and the shortest the slowest. The lifespan of a human hair is 3 to 7 years on average. Human hair is virtually indestructible. Aside from its flammability, human hair decays at such a slow rate it is practically non-disintegrative. Hair cannot be destroyed by cold, change of climate, water, or other natural forces, and is resistant to many kinds of acids or corrosive chemicals. There you go then. If there's ever a danger of dying, just wrap yourself in human hair. You'll be right as right. The acid in your stomach is strong enough to dissolve razor blades. Hydrochloric acid, the type found in your stomach, is not only good at dissolving the pizza you had for dinner, but can also eat through many types of metal. So our stomach lining is more acid resistant than metal. The human body never ceases to amaze. The surface area of a human lung is equivalent to a tennis court. I know that's because of all the little alveoli. That's, for you non-science geeks, that's where you breathe in, the oxygen goes through the windpipe down the lungs, and in the lungs there's tiny approximately 75% of human waste is water. The average person expels flatulence 14 times each day. Even if you'd like to think you're too dignified to pass gas, the reality is that almost everyone will at least a few times a day. Earwax production is necessary for a good ear health. While many people find earwax to be disgusting, it's actually a very important part of your ear's defense system. It protects the delicate inner ear from bacteria, fungus, dirt, and even insects. Oh gosh. That also reminds me of a picture I saw in the Daily Mail of a woman. I'm going to regret seeing that. I might as well, because I've got the image in my head now. And I didn't want to sleep tonight anyway, but a spider had crawled into their ear. And there's a picture, there's like obviously they stuck a camera in her ear, and there's just a spider staring at the camera. It's disgusting. Oh god. Oh my goodness. I would rather lop off my ear than have a spider burrow in there. I really would. Okay, next one. Babies are always born with blue eyes. The melanin in a newborn's eyes often needs time after birth to be fully deposited or to be darkened by exposure to ultraviolet light, later revealing the baby's true eye colour. Melanin, I am pretty sure, is I want to say chemical, but it's not. It's like a hormone, not a hormone. I don't know what it is, but it's the stuff that makes your skin tan. Every human spent about half an hour as a single cell. After eating too much, your hearing is less sharp. Women are born better smellers than men and remain better smellers over life. Your nose can remember 50,000 different scents. Nails and hair do not continue to grow after we die. They do appear longer when we die, however, as the skin dehydrates and pulls back from the nail beds and scalp. By the age of 60, most people will have lost half their taste buds. Perhaps you shouldn't trust your grandma's cooking as much as you do. I would. My grandma's cooking is brilliant. Both grandmas, actually. Oh god, I wish there was a smell ASMR or a taste ASMR. If you could taste my grandma's tomato soup. Oh good god. I swear that stuff can cure cancer, I swear it is just, oh, so tasty. But, I've just read that one. Your eyes are always the same size from birth, but your nose and ears will never stop growing. By 60 years of age, 60% of men and 40% of women will snore. Monday is the day of the week when the risk of heart attack is greatest. A 10-year study in Scotland found that 20% more people die of heart attacks on Monday than any other day of the week. Researchers theorise that it's a combination of too much food over the weekend with the stress of going back to work that causes the increase. For me, it's the other way around. I work on a weekend. Monday brings sweet relief. And I hope they are not listening to this. Provided there is water, the average human could survive a month to 2 months without food, depending on their body fat and other factors. So, yeah, I guess it does. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought if a fat person and a thin person will have to starve, I always thought that the thin person would die first, and I'm really sorry, this is not very pleasant or relaxing. Maybe because this, I don't know actually, I really don't know. I thought there was the rule of 3. 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 minutes conscious for about 15 to 20 seconds after he has been decapitated. While it may be gross to think about, the blood in the head may be enough to keep someone alive and conscious for a few seconds after the head has been separated from the body. Babies are born with 300 bones, but by adulthood the number is reduced to 206. I think that's because they fuse together, some fuse together, I don't know why. We are about 1 centimetre taller in the morning than the evening. It takes twice as long to lose new muscle if you stop working out than it did to gain it. Lazy people out there shouldn't use this as motivation to not work out, however. It's relatively easy to build new muscle tissue and get your muscles in shape. Tears and mucus contain an enzyme, lysozyme, that breaks down the cell wall of many bacteria. It is not possible to tickle yourself. Even the most ticklish among us do not have the ability to tickle ourselves. I can. The roof of my mouth, if you use your tongue. Oh, yeah, I kiss my mouth, my roof of my mouth. I don't like it though. The width of your arm span stretched out is the length of your whole body. I've done that before as well. It is pretty close. Humans are the only animals to produce emotional tears. I produce enough emotional tears for all the animals in the world, especially when I'm watching sad films. Women burn fat more slowly than men by a rate of about 50 calories a day. Most men have a much easier time burning fat than women. Women, because of their reproductive role, generally require a higher basic body fat proportion than men, and as a result, their bodies don't get rid of excess fat the same rate as men. Koalas and primates are the only animals with unique fingerprints. Humans, apes and koalas are unique in the animal kingdom due to the tiny prints on the fingers of their hands. I don't know about you guys, but my voice sounds a bit weird. One human hair can support 3.5 ounces. That's about the weight of 2 full-sized candy bars, and with hundreds and thousands of hairs on the human head, makes the tale of Rapunzel much more plausible. Okay, number 50, the last one. It's a paragraph. I've read it before, but it's one of those where all the letters in a word are mixed about, but you can still read it, so I'm gonna try and read it. Okay, can you read this? I could not believe that I could actually understand what I was reading. The phenomenal power of the human mind. According to research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be in the right place. The rest can be a total. The rest can be a total. Oh, mess. Oh my god, it says M-S-E-S. I'm trying to figure out what that meant. Yes, sesame is mess. The rest can be a total mess and you can still read it without a problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole. Amazing how, yeah, I always thought spelling was important, but if you read this forward, and then it just finishes like that. Yeah, thanks for reading. Thanks for finishing it. Okay, and it says plus 51, so there's one more fact, which has nothing to do with the human body or humans. It cost $7 million to build the Titanic and $200 million to make a film gonna see if I can get round to uploading this today. So, okay, I'm gonna keep you on it. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna try and upload. I'm really tired. I was really fine. I came up with my egg. I was fine. And then I thought, I've got nothing to do. I'll watch some whisper videos. I've just watched a couple of Maria's videos, and now I feel like I've been asleep for a center. I'm just so tired. So I'm gonna try and see if Microsoft Office will reinstall. If not, I will write a strongly worded letter to Asus. I've had this computer 6 months. I've already lost a year's worth of Kaspersky internet security. And now I paid £100 for Microsoft Office for 6 months. Thank you very much. Okay. Thanks for listening.